I think that all of these brokers and all of these trading platforms don't hold real AMC shares. I think they currently hold a mixture of IOUs and synthetic shares, which is currently causing them a giant headache as a result of this AMC share dividend. Today I want to talk about what these brokers are going to have to do with the real shares before this dividend day. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, retail stocks tweeted saying I'm going to go on a tweet storm like Adam Aaron. This run has me believing I could be right, and I want to get this information out there. Read on for why Ape may have been genius. So he starts by saying that all of the apes will want their ape shares to match with their AMC shares. But obviously the only way to get ape shares is to hold actual real AMC shares by the 22nd of August. After the mess and the fiasco with the GameStop dividend, all of these apes will be extremely persistent with their brokers on day one, ensuring they get their ape shares in their accounts. And therefore brokers will be forced to provide ape shares. They can't just split AMC incorrectly, they need to provide actual ape shares. But obviously these brokers can only provide you with ape shares if they're holding real AMC shares on the 28th of August. Computershare won't be giving these brokers the ape share allocations if they're not holding real AMC shares. Therefore, these brokers are going to be forced to provide ape shares to their customers on the 22nd of August, but they can only do that if they're holding real AMC shares, not IOUs and not synthetics. And therefore right now, or as of a few days ago, your broker or your trading platform may have been holding fake AMC shares, worthless IOUs or synthetic shares, not the true, real, company-issued AMC shares. That means they still have to buy actual AMC shares in advance of the 15th of August and in advance of Ape being issued on the 22nd of August. Otherwise they risk being shown and exposed as lying frauds. That means between now and the 15th of August and between now and the 22nd of August, there may be a lot of buying pressure for real AMC shares from all of these brokers and trading platforms that may otherwise not receive the ape shares. There's also likely going to be a lot of buying of these ape shares as well when they're released for these brokers that couldn't get their hands on real AMC shares and have to buy ape shares in the secondary market or from other brokers to provide to their customers. And I also think it's going to be very difficult for these brokers and trading platforms to get their hands on ape depository shares because they're being registered with Computershare. Now I also think it's very important to make a lot of noise if you don't receive your ape shares on the 22nd of August. You should file complaints with AMC's Investor Relations Department and directly with the DTCC and probably Computershare as well. Rocket Astronaut tweeted about a different YouTuber who just said that if you don't get ape shares, then don't complain and don't say anything. They said to not do anything because it's worthless. Now I don't know which specific YouTuber this is referencing to, but I personally think that if you don't get your ape shares on day one on the 22nd of August, I think you need to make a lot of noise. If you're not receiving these ape shares, that means your broker doesn't hold real AMC shares. It means the broker holds IOUs or synthetic shares. Again, not only does that prove that your shares aren't necessarily safe because they're not necessarily real, but it also means your broker is engaging in the practice of the creation of synthetic shares. Now, if you don't receive those ape shares into your account on day one, I don't think you should panic, but I do think you should file those necessary complaints. Obviously, you do have record of holding AMC shares, whether they're synthetic or not isn't your problem or isn't your fault, and you do have record of being entitled to receiving ape shares as well. Therefore, when the squeeze happens and you do want to sell, you do have record of holding AMC shares and you do have record of holding ape shares as well. You'll obviously process the sale order and the broker has to compensate you regardless of whether they were real or synthetic AMC shares. But I do think for the squeeze to truly happen or for a share recall to truly happen that you should file those necessary complaints if you don't receive your ape shares. I think the fact that I live in the UK probably means that I won't receive my ape shares on day one, but what I'm not going to do is panic. What I am going to do is file the necessary complaints and continue chasing my broker until I receive actual ape shares and hopefully actual real AMC shares as well. Now I think some actual verifiable proof that this is causing a lot of stress to these brokers, these trading platforms, these market makers, hedge funds and institutions is the fact they're having to pump multiple stocks by multiple billions of dollars to create enough margin to meet their margin calls. The other day I spoke about stock HKD or AMTD Digital, which had ran from $14 per share up to $2,500 and above. As Unusual Wells tweeted, he said MEGL followed in the footsteps of HKD on Friday and rallied 5,000% at the peak, today being Friday. It IPO'd at $4 per share yesterday on Thursday and peaked at $235 per share today, being yesterday Friday. These market makers, trading platforms, institutions, brokers and hedge funds are literally IPOing any crap stock they can possibly find just to pump it into oblivion to create enough fake margin to meet their margin calls. Unusual Wells tweeted saying this stock made around $12 million in revenue last year, but it was worth nearly $4 billion at the peak today. And that's obviously just one day of pumping. It wouldn't surprise me if they pump this stock Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday as well, potentially upwards of $10,000 per share to create another $200 billion of margin. But obviously be sure to be very, very careful if you do want to buy some shares in MEGL, obviously because this is a dud company that doesn't do anything. It will likely crash very, very fast after the pumping has finished. If we look here at the AMTD Digital stock, it did run to $2,500 per share on Tuesday, but has since already fallen back to $750 per share, and on Thursday it hit lows of $570 and below. Therefore, if you are going to buy shares in MEGL, be very, very skeptical, only buy a very small portion, and be ready to escape as quick as you possibly can when it starts going downwards. This isn't a short squeeze play, this isn't a meme stock like AMC and GameStop. This stock is controlled by the hedgies and it's being pumped for their margin benefits. I tweeted the other day about Tesla also performing a stock split or stock dividend, very similar to AMC and GameStop. Rico said that Ryan Cohen tweeted saying the best time to be alive in human history is now, and then tweeted a moon landing quote, very similar to Blockbuster, tweeting about the moon as well. Now Elon tweeted a few days ago saying it's getting very hot in Shortsville, and Adam Aaron has also announced his pounce, all within basically the same week. Now we know that Adam Aaron and Ryan Cohen are very likely working together to burn the shorts, but what we didn't know is that Elon Musk may also be on the plan because Tesla has been very heavily shorted in the past as well. Elon Musk knows the shorts are getting burned as a result of Adam Aaron and Ryan Cohen, and it wouldn't surprise me if Elon Musk jumps on board even more, other than just issuing a stock split. Now I also wanted to clear up some FUD or clear up some questions about the ape stock and how much it will be priced for on the New York Stock Exchange. When I read through Adam Aaron's tweet, the gist that I got from it is that Adam Aaron and AMC are basically performing a 1-for-1 stock split via dividend, very similar to GameStop, but instead of issuing another share of AMC, they're issuing a share of Ape instead. I think, or I thought, that this would likely halve the price of AMC, and instead of AMC trading at around $20 or around $15, it'd be trading around $7.50 or $10, basically half of its current price. And I think, or I thought, the ape stock will be trading for the exact same price as AMC, save for any movements over the next few days and the next week or two. Now I had a lot of people commenting on my video saying the ape stock would only be listed at a value of 1 cent or 1 penny per share, or even 0.001 pennies or $0.01. Now, as Bigham's tweeted, the minimum price to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange is $4 per share. People saying that ape will be listed at $0.001 or 0.001 cents or 1 cent per share. That is the par value of the stock, not the listing value. Ape will therefore be listed at least $4 per share because that's the minimum requirement to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. I do think that Ape will be listed for the same price as AMC, as they're basically performing a 1-for-1 stock split, aka halving the value of AMC and giving Ape that same value. Now obviously I may be wrong, I can't read the future, and I don't know exactly what Adam Aaron was trying to communicate in that tweet. Maybe the AMC price will decrease by $4 and Ape will be listed for $4 as well. Maybe AMC halves and Ape is listed at the same. I'm not 100% sure. Now I know that this 1 cent per share is the par value and not the listing value, because this Ape stock has to be listed at least $4 per share to make it onto the New York Stock Exchange. Obviously, I've made many videos in the past talking about how if AMC falls below $2 per share, then it would be relegated from the stock exchange, and therefore APE clearly can't be listed at 1 cent per share. Now, I haven't spoke about the wider market as a whole over the last few days, so I wanted to give a quick recap from Mac 10. Obviously, over the last few months, the S&P 500 has been definitely in a very downwards bearish trend. We obviously saw a relief rally back in Q1 in March and April, where the S&P 500 did run back up. Right now, over the last few weeks, we've seen the second rally for Q2. I do think this is just a second relief rally, and I do think the S&P 500 will continue crashing as we're still certainly in this recession, and I don't think that inflation has peaked just yet. I expect inflation to continue rising higher, I expect unemployment to rise, I expect more layoffs, and I do expect the S&P 500 to continue falling and the market crash to resume. HSBC's Max Kettner believes that it's time to ditch stocks and sell your stocks and instead hide in cash. The HSBC strategist has moved to a maximum underweight across equities as a whole, and he thinks that those betting that inflation will fall are wishful thinkers. HSBC's Max Kettner sees a painful end to this summer's rally and recommends abandoning equities and government bonds and hiding in cash on mounting risks to economic growth. He says the market pricing of risk assets is now very much out of line with our cyclical growth indicators. The entire strategy team at HSBC is moving to a maximum underweight across equities as a whole, high yield credit, and developed market sovereign debt. Clearly, many of these major banks are expecting the market to continue falling. They think that this is just a relief rally and the S&P 500 will continue crashing. Now, on top of this, I've spoken about many tech companies recently and many crypto companies recently cutting their headcount. And none other than Robinhood is also reducing their headcount by a whopping 23%. You may say, Tom, 23% is 20%, which isn't actually a very large percent. But when you think of it, that's nearly a quarter of their entire staff base. 23% of headcount is a massive number, especially considering they only recently cut 10% of their staff. Therefore, this is even more people going. I think we're likely to continue seeing layoffs across the tech sector, and I imagine this is also going to expand into other sectors as well. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.